Welcome to the Submission Center Snapshot tutorial in EZLynx. Submission Center is designed to help track and organize submissions for commercial applicants. This product will help keep you focused on the submissions process so that you can meet the needs of your customers and business. In this video, you will learn how to navigate to Submission Center, read the snapshot and view submissions list. So, let's get started. To access the Submission Center, hover over the applicant's icon, and then click Submission Center. Here, you will see the Submission Center snapshot. Information is visually arranged to keep you focused on moving submissions along and understanding agency submission behavior. So let's break this page down. At the top of the screen, you will see some tabs: Snapshot, which is where we are now, Submissions, which will show you a list of all of your submissions, Tasks, which will show you all tasks that are related to your submissions, Carriers, which will show you all of your carriers and the underwriters associated with them, and if you are an admin you will see the Thresholds tab as well. For this video we will focus on the Snapshot and Submissions tab. These are the main views that will provide you with relevant data related to your submissions. At the top of the snapshot is the time frame selector. You can choose one of the options from that drop-down that best fits how you want to see your data in the snapshot. Next is Submissions type. Here you will have three options in the drop-down: All, Online and Manual. Online will be any submission submitted using Tarmika if enabled. Manual submissions are completed through Submission Center only, and All will include them both. Next, you can choose Submission by. The drop-down will include Agency or My Submissions. Therefore, you can see the submissions data for the agency or just the submissions you created. Below to the left, you can see the total amount of overdue tasks in Submission Center. The best practice is to keep this number at 0, so make sure to take a look at your submission tasks daily. Under that, you can see how many submissions are currently submitted without any quotes returned. You can set the system to look at this number from the quote due date or effective date. The exact day threshold can be set by an admin. Below, you can see the average time to market or the average carrier response time. Looking at the average carrier response time can be helpful, as you want to do more business with carriers that respond quickly. Next up is the total quoted premium. This is an aggregate of all premiums entered in the Submission Center, and can give you a good idea of how much of your business is flowing through the submission process. Notice, below many of the data points is a View More link. Only admins have access to these reports. This will allow them to do a deeper dive into the data and export the data to a CSV file to review and analyze. This way, admins can have the insight needed to adjust your agency's submission process. The first data graph is your agency submissions. This graph gives you a visual cue on how many submissions you have in each category. This will help to keep your submission pipeline under control, making sure you are hitting your milestones and closing submissions out. Next, there is the top 5 submitted lines of business graph. This graph will rank the lines of business that your agency is submitting for. Next is the expected premiums graph. This graph allows you to gauge commercial business and expected premiums for the largest accounts. Next, we have the top 5 submitted carriers graph. This will show you the top 5 carriers that are receiving the most submissions from your agency. The next graph is the top 5 carrier quoted hit ratios. This will show you the top 5 carriers that give you the highest percentage of returned quotes in the markets you have submitted for. Finally, we have the top 5 carrier bound ratios graph. This visual shows the carriers with the highest bound to submitted ratio. This will provide insight into which carrier actually binds quotes the most, and can help in determining the direction your commercial business takes with specific carriers. Next, let's take a quick look at the Submissions tab. The Submissions tab is a grid that congregates all of your agency's submissions into a centralized location. You have the same time frame and submission type as shown before. For Submissions by, you have the option to view submissions for the agency, just submissions you created, or submissions by branch. Please keep in mind that you can only make one selection at a time to view. Additionally, to ensure transparency and accountability, all actions taken on a submission by a user from a different branch or the main office are recorded in a detailed system log, providing a clear audit trail. Below that, you can search using the search bar, and filter based on carrier and underwriter. Next, to the right, you can export the table as a CSV by clicking Export to CSV, and create a new submission by clicking Create Submission. Below, you can click on any submission title to be taken directly to that commercial applicant's submissions page. You can also sort by any of the headers on the grid, such as the effective date or quote due date. For submissions submitted with Tarmika, you will see the link Go to Tarmika under the Tarmika session column. This link will take you directly into the Tarmika session for the submission. For each submission, you can click the vertical ellipses to create task or delete submission. If you choose to create a task, this will open up the agency workspace for the commercial applicant that the submission is assigned to, where you will then have the option to create a task. This task will attach to the note for the submission. If you choose to delete a submission, this will remove it from the working view and is useful when the submission is closed or no longer relevant. Additionally, you can also view quotes from manual or online submissions on the Quotes tab of a commercial applicant. Click the down arrow to see the quote. Next to the arrow on the left, you can click the vertical ellipsis to view more details or delete. Furthermore, on the Activity tab, the system log will hold timestamps and other information on actions taken in a submission if needed. That is all for this course on the Submission Center Snapshot. You should now have the knowledge and skills needed to navigate to Submission Center, read the snapshot and view submissions. Thanks for watching!